There you are. I've been looking all over for you, trying to get this video started. What are you doing?
You know, just doing some last minute repairs before we go to film.
Why do you have a hammer in your hand?
You never know where you need to be to get it going.
Step away from the vehicle, will you? All right, what's going on? What's going on, Wanda Lynn? It's been a while since you turned the video out. What's the word?
Yes, it has, and sorry about that, but ended up having to have surgery. And between the recovery time and the surgery and everything like that, we have not been able to post any videos. But James has been working on the truck, or the
truck? But it has been a while since we've done videos. You don't even remember what we're working on anymore.
The Camaro. So he has gotten almost everything finished up. Just a few things left to do. I'll let him go over all that with you. We've decided to go ahead and make some changes. He has wanted to post videos, but since I couldn't be out here doing it, he didn't feel right posting them. So during all this process, we decided to rename the page and...
It's a channel.
Channel.
Yeah, rename the channel.
Rename the channel.
You guys can see the motor's in. It is fully wired. Transmission's in. Got a turbo 400 in there with a manual reverse valve body, trans brake, of course. And if you guys ever need a good transmission guy, I'm going to put up his business card here in a second. His name's Ernie Green. He's here local to the Phoenix, Arizona area. Does amazing work, builds a lot of transmissions for a lot of the high-end drag radial guys. Ernie's definitely a good guy to go to. His prices are fair, and he's local, so if you're local, you know, anything ever goes wrong, you know, he can fix it pretty quickly for you, so you're not waiting. So anyways, the motor's fully plumbed. It actually does fire and run. I'll fire that up for you in a second. It sounds really good. But so we got all that in, got the trans in. Did finally get new rubbers for it. The other ones, if you remember from the first video, were pretty dry rotted. So we got some Huser skinny drag radials in the front. And then we did get some Mickey Thompson ET Streets for the back, 255/60 15s. I couldn't find them anywhere. They were on back order everywhere. Jeg, Summit, Mickey Thompson themselves, I couldn't find them. I ended up finding them here local at Discount Tires warehouse. So we managed to get tires on it, which is good. If you remember from the previous videos, we put new Moser axles in it and C-clip eliminators. That way it'll pass tech when we get ready to go to the track. Probably gonna have to put a little bit lower gear in it. It's got a 342 in it now. Thinking about going up to a 390, but I'm gonna run it first and see what gear it is and what RPM across the finish line before I make any changes. Got the trunk cleaned up. If you guys remember, there was a good bit of rust in there. It was pretty nasty. Got that all cleaned up. Still got some paper in there I got to pull out from when I painted the roll cage. That was probably the biggest task we had with the car, or I had, I should say. Getting the roll cage in. Fortunately, I had some help from some good friends that were great welders, and we got it all done. And it turned out pretty nice. Got the nice little carbon fiber tube protectors on there. And of course, the end result of that was we got the nice NHRA sticker. Ed, our local tech, came out, inspected it, liked what he saw. So we got the nice little sticker, which is a great reward. It's an expensive sticker to get if you think about the time and effort put into doing the cage. But got the carpet back in, got the waist belts mounted. I still have to mount the submarine belt in the front for the driver's seat, and then once I get the seats mounted in, still put the shoulder belts wrapped around the rear support bar here. Did a lot of work with the electronics, and it's an MSD 7A03 box. Got a panel in the back for all the relays and fuses. Got a master breaker up front, and then this little one here will control the trans brake and the nitrous. Basically, with the trans brake on, it kills the power to the nitrous, and when you let go of the trans brake button, the nitrous kicks right on. So that's all in. Shifter's back in. Got a shift solenoid on it, so it'll shift automatically for Wanda. Still got to get that wired. The switch panel is in and mounted. Everything works. Tack's in, mounted. It works. Everything's good. Still got to zip tie the wiring harness for that up, but everything else is wired up and hidden pretty good. Got the headliner back in. It was a good chore trying to get that headliner tucked in above the roll cage because I didn't leave a whole lot of room, but I did manage to get it in there, so kind of helps it still kind of look like a street car, even though it's really going to primarily just be a track car. So the only thing that I really have left to wire run it is the shift solenoid, the trans brake, and then the line lock, which if you guys follow us on Instagram, you saw that the line lock's already mounted and ready to go right here. And beyond that, without getting underneath the car, the only thing that we're lacking is a drive shaft. And because of all the shortages on steel and everything that everybody's waiting on, the only place I could find that could make a 1350 drive shaft is Denny's drive shaft in New Jersey. And that was about a 5-week wait, and I think I'm 2.5 weeks into it. So as soon as I can get that, we can get that into the car. By the time it gets here, I'll have everything else loaded into it. Or I'm sorry, wired into it. I don't know if I get this down low enough, you can see the rear end cover. Get everything else wired by the time the drive shaft gets in, get that in, and then we'll be ready to take it out for its maiden voyage. So anyways, to show you guys the biggest, the greatest feeling in the world once you start getting these things put together and get them rolling is to actually fire them up. So I'm gonna let Wanda Lynn hold the camera here. And, sit down. There we go. So that makes me happy. After all that time and effort getting here to the motor actually fire. If you guys remember one of the previous videos we had when we pulled the heads off, or I should say when we drained the oil, it had water in the oil. So, you know, I was kind of unsure. The motor might have had a cracked head or cracked block, but it turned out that the guy that owned it before us just didn't torque the heads down. Probably didn't go back and do the second torquing after he ran it through its first heat cycle, but obviously I did after I put the new head gaskets on. We used Cometics, so no water in the oil, ran it a bunch of times, ran it up on its first heat cycle, and then retorqued the heads. So anyways, beyond that, I'm going to finish getting the trans brake, the shift solenoid, and the line lock wired, and just try to patiently wait for a drive shaft. So hopefully the next video we put out will be us actually taking the car for a ride. Anything you want to say, Wanda Lynn?
I've done some great work.
Yes, you have done some great work.
Wow.
Thanks for all your efforts.
I'm amazing.
You're crazy. Anyways, I want to give a special thanks to Brandon Rockholt, a great friend of mine who came over and did the finish welding on the cage. Chris Cook, who had started it. Without those guys, I would have never got it done. Matter of fact, I still have Brandon's welder sitting here. Anyways, and Ed from NHRA, the guy that came and did all the tech on the cage. Awesome guy, really nice. You know, if you do a good job and you don't cut corners, the whole tech process, getting certified, really isn't that complicated. If you try to cut corners and you do a crappy job, well, then you're gonna end up with crappy results. And then again, Ernie Green, I'll post up his card at the very end of the video again, just so you have his information. Like I said, if you need tranny work done, I highly recommend Ernie. Great guy, real honest, and his prices are awesome. So anyways, thank you again for joining us. And don't forget, as you move forward on the channel, you won't see Wanda Lynn Ventures anymore. What you'll see now is POS Marrow. So if you like this, don't forget to tell your friends and all that like and share crap that everybody asks you to do. I'm not going to ask you to do that every time, because if you like the stuff and you want to share it, you will, and if you don't, you won't. So we'll just leave it at that. And anyways, thanks again. Have a great night.